Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your favorite non-consistent bike YouTuber here, and today I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be doing a 2,000 mile review because I have a little over 2,000 miles now, and I really have nothing else to do because it is raining outside. I can't really ride. Maybe later, because I'm also getting some prickly pegs in. They should be getting here anytime soon. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into it. As you can see, I have 181 miles. That's because the screen resets. If we go into our settings here, go to data, 2,041 miles. Here's a better picture of that for you guys. Here's some other data. My max speed's 52, average speed's about 22. Honestly, I don't know if that average speed's correct. I feel like I'm going more about 30 average, but you know, let's just listen to the screen, I guess. And yeah, let me give you guys a lot of my pros and cons. There's a lot of pros, not many cons. I'm just going to do a general review of the bike, like what I like first, and then I'm going to get into some more key points about what I do and don't like. The Talaria XXX is a weird bike because there's technically two generations of them. I have the newer generation, and it's got a few things that are better than the old generation. Now, one of the main ways you can spot this is by the start-stop button. If it has this little icon, that means it's probably the second generation, probably the newer one. And let me show you guys a few other things about them that this one just makes it a little bit better than the older one. The main thing is going to be the seat. If you look, the seat has a lot more cushion and a lot more padding to it. It kind of like actually goes down. It almost looks like a Luna float. I do not have a float on here. And this is just a stock seat. It's a lot more cushioned, a lot more padding. I'll try to find a picture of a first generation stock seat. It's usually flush with the fender, which honestly looks better in my opinion, but I've heard it starts hurting after like 45 minutes, and I can easily go like 2 hours on this thing and it barely hurts. Another variable to the Talaria XXX is the suspension you'll be getting out of the box. I have DNMs on the front and the rear, and I've also seen some people get like Talaria front suspension, DNM rear, or Talaria full. It kind of just depends. My personal opinion, the DNM on front and rear is amazing. I haven't had a single problem with it. I think it's great. Obviously, you're going to bottom out on really big stuff because you don't have the linkage, but that just kind of makes sense. And for most things, this is all you need. Like, this feels great. And don't even try to compare this to a Ridstar, because this compared to a Ridstar suspension or a Ridstar anything is just 5 times better. It's actually completely out of its league. One thing that surprised me a lot about this bike is these stock brakes. They've actually survived a long time and a lot of beating, and I literally haven't changed the brakes or like done anything to the brakes. I haven't bled them or anything. I've only changed the pads once. Now after 2,000 miles, my pads definitely need to get changed again, and I'm probably going to be getting new pads for Christmas. If I don't, I've got to buy some. But these pads are starting to get cooked. The pads I have are some Shimano pads. I can't remember the name, but I'll have them linked in the description in the spreadsheet. They're honestly great. They're way better than the stock pads. They have a lot less brake fade, and these paired up with the stock brake cylinders and whatever you call it, it's just amazing. I think it's a perfect stock brake. You don't really need much more. I'm starting to drop it back. I'm starting to think I'm gonna need more, but we'll see how that goes. Now when I get the prickly pegs, I'm gonna go out on a ride and show you guys some more things about what I like and what I don't like about the bike. Some things I can't really show you just when it's sitting here, but one of the things I don't really like is the turn radius. I've really gotten over it. Like, it's not a problem anymore for me, but it's like the one thing everyone comments on when they pick up this bike. They're like, whoa, this turn radius is so bad. But I feel like once you're on the bike for a month or two and you actually get used to it, the turn radius isn't that bad, and you just get used to it. Another thing I like about this bike, if you're going to compare it to other Talarias, is the belt drive. This belt is so much better than the gearbox when it comes to wheelies and stunts. Because I've tried wheeling in my friend's MX3. It might just be the MX3 and not the MX4s. But the MX3 is absolutely horrendous for wheelies. It's so bad. I can wheelie it, but it's terrible. Like, I actually don't understand how people wheelie MX Talarias. It doesn't make sense to me. If you want to do wheelies, you want to do stunts, I recommend the X3. Also, for that seat length, you have a lot of room to just work with the bike, you know what I'm saying? Now, if we're going to talk about rider size for this bike, I'm about 5'10", 5'11". I fit this thing perfectly, honestly. I mean, not perfectly. There's some times I wish it was a little bit bigger, but for what it is, I have no complaints. It doesn't feel like a mini bike by any means. It doesn't feel small. It definitely doesn't feel big. The MX bikes almost feel too big. E-Ride Pros almost feel too big. So it's kind of weird. This thing feels just like a tiny bit smaller than a Sur-Ron. I think it's almost the best bike size-wise for anybody, but that is really just depending on how you ride and all that stuff. I will say though, the seat almost never hurts. You can literally always just move around on it, and you have so many different positions. There's so much cushion. I think they still do this with the current XXXs with this fat seat. So if you get one nowadays, it's gonna have this fat seat and it's gonna be really, really cushiony. The stem walk has been pretty nice. I honestly haven't really felt much of a difference. Maybe there was a difference, maybe I just couldn't feel it. It looks really cool. I will say it. It looks really cool. But feeling wise, it doesn't really feel that much different. If you're trying to save some money, maybe do a stem walk and direct mount stem later. But in my opinion, the Talaria XXX is still one of the best budget bikes on the market currently. And when I say budget, you know, you're talking E-Moto's budget. And in my state, 3.3 for this thing is not that bad at all. That's basically the same price as the RAR Mantis, and the RAR Mantis looks like a pile of turd compared to this. Honestly, I don't even know how I would describe it. And I haven't been able to ride one yet, but I can't imagine it's that much better than this. Even though it's 72 volts, I think the only thing you're gonna have is more torque and less range. So, it doesn't really make sense to me. Go pick yourself up a Talaria XXX. Honestly, the most fun I've had in a few months. Like, this bike is so much better than the Ridstar. If you guys want to upgrade from the Ridstar, I do recommend this. I do not recommend this as a starter bike, although some of you guys are not going to listen and get it as a starter bike. I understand. It's just, it's dangerous, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys when these prickly pegs get here. I've been waiting for these for so long. It's been almost a month. And we're gonna slap these Johns on. Alright, it's a little bit later, and we got the prickly pegs. Let's unbox these and put them on the bike. I'm just gonna use a screwdriver. Okay, so inside the box, we got some silver pins, and let's take a look at these pegs. Made in California. Ooh, boy. These things are nice. All CNC aluminum. Dang, with the purple pins. I don't know if I'm gonna run the purple pins or if I'm gonna put the silver pins on, but these things are beautiful. I can't wait to get these on the bike. Let's compare these to the pegs I have currently, which are upgraded big pegs. These are already bigger than stock pegs, but then compare it to these, and they're so much bigger. Like, it's actually crazy. So, I'm really excited to put these on. These are also the Suron ones, so I'm not sure if they'll fit, but we'll make them fit. Okay, so I tried to switch the pins out to silver, or like, do like a pattern, and the pins are just stripping when I try to take them out. So it's really freaking annoying. I think I'm just gonna put them on with the purple. Probably should have went silver and got purple as backups, but what can you do, I guess? Okay, I finally got the pegs off the bike. It was low-key a challenge, and I got them off. I didn't have to remove the whole bracket. That was really nice. Now, we have to remove this little top pin, get this pin out, pop the spring out, get the pegs out, put the new pegs in. I'll have a video linked in the description of how to do it, just because I'm just going to do it really quickly, and it's going to be easier than me having to show you guys, and I'll just, yeah. It's a little bit later, and I got the prickly pegs onto the mounts. I got this one halfway put on the bike, just got to tighten it down all the way. What's really weird with the prickly pegs is I had to put the spring on backwards, so usually this longer side's on the peg, and the shorter side's on the bracket, I think. But for these two, I had to put them on backwards. We'll see how that runs. Honestly, they're not like the most perfect, but whatever. Pegs are going to be pegs, they're going to get beat on. These things look beautiful though. But let's put these on right now. Alright, it's a few days later. We got the prickly pegs on. These things are so nice. I already rid it, so I can't get my first impressions on film, unfortunately, but these things are super nice. Like, you feel so much more planted than the old pegs, and they look really good, too. Would I say they're worth $180? No. But if you can get them on sale like how I did, I got these for $150 shipped on Black Friday, and that was a great deal. Unfortunately, you really can't get them cheaper than that, but yeah. I'm coming out with something soon on Star Mods where they might be just as big as these, and let's just say yeah. Let's just say that some things might be as big as these for the Talaria. Yeah, coming soon to Star Mods. But we're gonna go take this bike to my friend Noah's house. He has a track in his backyard. It's not that big, so don't think anything crazy, but it's pretty cool. It's a small little track. I'm also bringing my Shinkos, and I'm gonna put those on finally. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm not gonna ride the bike. We're gonna load it up in the truck, but once we get there, I'll ride the bike after we put the Shinkos on, so you guys can get a little reaction of me with the prickly pegs and with the Shinkos, because these Shinkos, I think, will be crazy. Like, it will be a big difference. One thing I will mention with the pegs, I don't know if it's me installing them or what, because I've seen people do these perfectly fine. Mine have some like tilt to them, like they're not perfect, and it's really weird. Kind of bugs me a little bit, but I can get over it. We got the bike and the tires all loaded up. This is the first time I brought the bike in the truck, and I'm just gonna cut to when we get to my friend's house. We got the bike at the homie's crib. Now we're gonna get it on the stand, take off the wheels, and put on the Shinkos. I'm gonna film some of the process, but probably not all of it because it would be a long process. If you guys want a more in-depth video, you guys can look it up on YouTube, or I'll probably have one in the description. We got the rear wheel off the bike. It was pretty hard actually because I've never taken it off, so the nut was really tight. We had to use this big breaker bar to get it off, but then we just had to take the caliper off, which was just super easy. And once we did that, I just took the chain off and took the axle out, took the wheel off. Pretty easy. After probably 30 minutes to an hour, we got the chain on. It was really hard, but hopefully this pays off. It's a non-O-ring chain, and apparently the O-ring chain has a little bit more friction, a little bit more like, I don't know, when you're rolling, like it has a little bit more friction. Yeah, so this one has less friction, so it should roll smoother, because with these new tires, those are gonna be heavier. So it's kind of just to offset the extra tire weight, but I guess we'll see. I also heard that you have to keep really good maintenance with these chains, so that's all something we'll see about. But we got the tire ready to change. I think I'm gonna try to change it myself. My friend just went to an appointment, so he'll be back and he'll help me maybe, but let's try. All right, so I got the tire fully off the rim, and now we're going on to the front wheel. We already took the front wheel off, and now I have to change it. If you guys want a video on how to change the tires, I'll have one in the description. It's really helpful. It's the video that I'm following along, and it's great. I'll also have the link to these tire spoons in the description as well. Okay, it's only a few days later, and I know you guys are probably wondering, why do I have these new tires on? And let me give you guys a little story time about what happened. So I was going to my friend's house today to go film the rest of the video and put these tires on. I was going to film the video on the way there, end the video, then put these tires on and start filming a new video. But we took the bike over there, we started working on it. I decided I was going to put the tires on before riding it, and so we started putting the tires on. All was good. Had to put a new chain on too because I really wanted to get a non-O-ring chain to kind of displace the added weight from the tires. The non-O-ring would spin a lot faster, not a lot faster, but it'd spin faster, more freely, and basically it would, you know, counter the bigger tires. With all that being said though, there's a reason why there's no chain on my bike, and the chain is over there, and that's because the non-O-ring chain, it did work, but the chain breaker broke while we were putting it on and like taking off links and trying to get it the right size. So I have a new chain breaker and chain coming on Friday. It's currently Monday, so it's going to be a little bit, so that's kind of annoying. But hopefully once those come, the bike is perfectly ready to go, and I can make a video on these new dirt tires and the prickly pegs, and I think these dirt tires are going to be really nice. I went with 3 inches wide in the back, and I think it's perfect for the Talaria. You don't have to shave anything off, and it fits the bike great. It fills the frame, it fills the little, it just makes it look great. Then I have a 2.5 in the front, a little bit smaller than stock. I think it kind of looks a little bit thin, but we'll see how these rip. I think the rear is going to rip, and the front, it's going to be great. You're going to get traction, so it's going to be better than street tires in the winter because I'm currently, like, almost dying. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to start posting more often. Hopefully I can get out and film the video with these tires soon. And yeah, thank you guys again. Have a great holiday season. Like and subscribe. Peace.
I'm on. Like we on here. Fuck. I'm on. They got me on. Alright.